Hello, everybody. I am back. And remember the music playing just to kind of set the stage for a minute while I do a little organized. Let me sit together. Good evening. Welcome, everyone. I'm back, Lavonda Ray. I'm back for my second or third appearance of the Here and Now show. So I'm back and I'm glad to be back. Today's a little different because I'm actually now speaking from the library. Most of the times I do it from home because I just love to be at home and doing my conversations, my podcast, because it's just so much easier, I guess, when you're at home. You're more in the comfort of your home. You know what I'm saying? So I'm glad everyone's here. For those who are listening, those who will listen later, I want to thank you right now. I want to thank everybody. As you guys may remember, if you tuned into my last show, I'm coming from the Midwest, yeah, the Show Me State. We come in and we show out. Yeah, and if you have any questions or if you have any comments, feel free to leave it in the comment box or give me a call and I'll take your call because I believe, and I'm a firm believer, that all voices matter because they do. And so, today's topic that I picked out today, I don't know if it showed on the screen, but if it didn't, it should have. And if it didn't, it's because I'm not perfect and I'm still working on how to, get all this stuff completed and do it the right way. And I also would like to apologize for being late. Not that it was you guys' fault, but it was truly mine. I said that I would be here at 11, and I didn't get online until about 11:10. Not perfect. Not that it's an excuse, but I was actually kind of fucked off a little bit. I was hungry before I came into the studio, and I went and grabbed me a bite to eat, and realizing that the line was like way up here. So that means like five other thousand people wanted something to eat at the same time. I wanted something to eat, but it didn't distract my day. It kept me going. Hello, somebody. But so I made it. So, um, so I do apologize for my lateness. I will do better. Okay. Hello. And so, and before I start the show, which again, I don't think I see the title or the topic up here, and it's all right. It is okay. I don't need the topic up there, but I thought I had it. These are the imperfect things of podcasting. Are trying to seclude topics. So the topic today is we are all sisters. We got this, right? We are. And so first I would like to express how beautiful I think it is that we are all sisters in nation in this world, whether you're black, white, brown, tan, at this moment, whatever color you are, whatever age you are, we are sisters. And we don't always like each other. We need to work on that, right? As sisters, we could work on, if you feel uncomfortable with someone, and I agree, if someone makes you uncomfortable, then leave that alone. You make me uncomfortable. I don't like how that makes me feel. But for this moment, we as sisters of all the nations all over the world, just to have this moment, even if it's for 30 minutes, 15 minutes, we had a moment where we can all maybe come together and relate and understand that it is just not one person's struggle, that it can be everyone, and that together we can make the struggle less struggling. Is that even a word? But this is a real, to me, I think that's a wonderful thing because, as women, we worry about a lot of things, and we do. We worry about a lot of things. And one of the things that we worry about as women is self care. And how do you take your self care and then mainstream that to home care? And for me, self care, it's not easy. Self care is not easy. It's just not. And there's been times that I'm like, what do I do? how can I how can I treat do better by myself? Because self-care is such a strong thing that you almost have to have, you know. So you feed yourself with the future thoughts of I can do better and I have to give myself self-care. So, self-care could be as simple as changing your lipstick or you know, cooking out or going out for breakfast or for lunch. I don't know, just doing something different, but you're still in the race. That's what it lets you know that if you still get up in the morning, you are still in the race to do something positive with yourself, with your mental, with your appearance, you know. Sometimes I don't feel beautiful. You know, I don't feel beautiful all the time, right? I mean, there are some people that probably wake up and they feel beautiful every day, and I think that that's wonderful. But in order to also have self care, sometimes in life you have to get rid of places, people, and things. Excuse me, we got to turn the volume down on this because I don't want it to interrupt. I'm not perfect, but self care is a beautiful thing. And when you start to embrace self care, you have to let go of certain places, people, and things that mean you know well, because you can't have self care if you're still struggling with those things that literally could have torn you apart. For myself, letting go and getting that monkey off my back probably was one of the hardest steps I had to get into. It was hard to build yourself up, or you know to get something off your back that you carried for so long, and finally you like, hey, I love myself and I got to get back into that self-care. And self-care means getting you off my freaking back so I can have peace, right? Knowing that the self-love starts within yourself, right? We know that, but as women it can be a little compromising, because you plant the seed of building this self-care, and then someone comes into your life and they give you this seed of insecurities, right? Because people can do that, right? A relationship can do that. And so now you've planted the lower seed of insecurities. And so now the self-love is being ignored because your insecurities have stepped in. It's like a dark cloud, right? And you to me, insecurities for me isn't something that happened overnight. I didn't wake up one day and was like, oh, I'm insecure. It was events that added up to me in my mind that made me insecure. And it didn't help that I was in a relationship that wasn't good for me, and it didn't build me. So if you're anything like me, you don't want to be in a relationship that's not going to help you grow on any type of level, whether it's a loved one, a boyfriend, a girlfriend, any type of relationship that you have in your life. If it does not allow you to have that moment to understand that you need self love in order to grow and live a better life, if they're going to put that in a handicap and paralyze you and your thoughts, got to get away from that. Because how do you go from self care to self home? Because, those two things are utterly important. They are no, they're beyond important. So for me, if I was to say life, my home life is loud at times. It is it is it is loud at times. It is uncomfortable. And you're thinking this is your home, right? But at the same time, my home is my castle, and I am the queen of my throne, right? But sometimes home life can be very heavy. I have children that are grown and I have grandchildren. So sometimes it can be heavy and loud because, I have my grandkids and I love them to death, and I have my children and we're all just talking and all these emotions. So it can be loud, to be expected, you know. And but also running with this whole expectation you have to still know your worth, right? Understand that, when when things, let me see, how can I put this? But and I know you got to. What are you looking at? I have notes. Sometimes because I forget. You know what I want to say at times. When I look how far I have came for myself, and you can look how far you came, even if it started off with something small, and you started off with a little seed, and you merged into a wonderful tree. But home life, I have a home life where it revolves in cooking, cleaning, and ask the bell, as they say. Like shit's going down in the house, cooking, cleaning, organization, loudness. Um, but at the same time, it's my place of peace, right? Because it's my home. Not everybody has that place of peace at their home, but that is the ideal, right? And so I put on my head that when I'm at home, I put on my bonnet, and my tall shirt and my mismatched socks, roll me a nice joint, maybe have a little bit of wine and watch my favorite shows, which would consist of Law and Order, maybe Snap, a little Dateline. I like movies like that, not movies, documentaries. I'm real big on documentaries. I don't know, something about me feeling like I solved the crime myself makes me feel like I've done something. Like, oh, I knew that this was going to happen in this order. It also tells me that I'm used to routine, right? So the routine is my crime shows and, you know, smoke a little, eat a little, and just enjoy that moment of home. Even though I'm enjoying this moment of mine, there's still other things functioning. There's still other things going on in the household. That's almost like highway traffic. Zoom, 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 zoom. It's always something. But within that something, I find comfort in doing something to upgrade the way that I was feeling. And see, the thing about upgrading your thoughts and upgrading your emotions is that, again, you know, when I'm at home, I forgot to mention that I love to eat strawberry ice cream, and not just any kind. I happen to like strawberry ice cream. It's Blue Bonnet. It's soft ice cream, and I love it. I love it, and that is so self caring to me, right? Because I'm taking care of my desire to eat this ice cream. I'm taking care of myself, and I'm watching my favorite shows, and I'm letting go of bullshit, and I'm upgrading my thoughts to where these thoughts are no longer were in the past controlling how I perceive my day, but they can't do that anymore, right? Because the self love I have for myself and the self home that I take care of has, got me all together. And, combining the two or trying to connect the two is almost impossible not to do. So, oh gosh, I am so sorry. I thought I turned it down. I did not. Again, I am not perfect. I have flaws like any other body, like anyone else. If you wonder what I'm doing, trying to power my down so that this would not. Oh, I'm screenshotting, so this won't be an issue because, again, you guys, I'm just getting started out here and I make mistakes, and I know y'all make mistakes because we're human. And if we wasn't human, then what are we, aliens? I mean, that is a question in the air. I'm not a damn alien, but some people think they are, and that's okay. Um, Self care, there's tips on that. For me, and again, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not anything of that. Are you like, what does a lawyer got to do with you talking a lot, a damn lot? I'm just a person that hopes to gain friends alike that can relate to the things that I have been through. Excuse me, in my life. Um, so for a few self care things, for me, I wake up, waking up, hey, there's time for self change, and maybe you want to style your hair different, or maybe you want to wear a different color other than black. And maybe you want to pop out and wear some red, or pop out and wear some yellow or some pink. You know what I mean? Do something different. Try a different brand of coffee. I don't know about that. Yeah, no, don't do that because if you're used to drinking decaf, don't go drinking you know, something different and then have you all up here. So maybe you like Pepsi and say, hey, you know what? I want to try a little something different. So I'm gonna take a cherry Pepsi. So it's kind of like you stepped outside on the porch, but you didn't get in the street. You kind of like tiptoed on the curb. You kind of like was tiptoeing on the street, the curb, but you fully never jumped into the street because you know that in the street a lot of shit goes on in the streets. But if you stay on the curb, and just because you stay on the curb doesn't make you a punk ass, okay? Don't let people tell you, oh, you don't want to do this. No, you can do it, and then I'll watch you crash and burn, and then I'll tell you wasn't a good idea, and I wasn't. So I am a person of, hey, I like to enjoy me, and I like to take care of me, and I'm going to take care of me as well as you should take care of you. There's no one that should make you feel like that you can't stand on business and do what you got to do to maintain your peace. And maybe also part of your self love is getting up in the morning and going to the gym or jogging because now you're exercising your body and your mind. And that is beyond beautiful. Upgrade your standards. And upgrade the question of who you are, you know, carry the wind. Don't let the wind carry you because you control your own storm. You control your own palace. Stand on your boundaries, stand on your boundaries because, you know, how can I say that? So, as you're going into your upgrade, stand on your boundaries, let your no's be your no because the man above, just listen to this. You stand on your boundaries. One, you're going to feel so much better by yourself. Saying no and meaning no, and don't turn your nose into yes, you feel better by yourself. It's like a whole nother breath of air. Being able to say, fuck it, this isn't working. You go ahead. I had that been there. I didn't like the way I feel when I was doing that. I don't want it no more. And don't spin the block to go back and see, oh, maybe I can look and see if the cut's still there or maybe the scar. No, fuck it. If you close the door, lock that motherfucker. You close it, lock the fucking door. Don't open it again. Don't spin the block. And oh my God, it's so much easier to say that. But if you go through enough bullshit and enough situation shit, that you're not gonna want to spin the block because it's not good for you. It's not good for your mental health. You know, I heard this statement that said, quote, said that God never, God or the man above, whoever you worship, they never intended for you to eat leftovers. Mm-mm. Oof. That's some powerful shit right there. You were not brought into this world. You were never meant to eat leftovers, meaning do not accept the bullshit. Know your worth and know that if anyone gets an opportunity to be in your circle, to be a part of your life, to get your time, that they're lucky because you are the reward. They're to be honest, you are the award. On top of that, if, there's only you, right? Unless you have a twin sister. And I always kind of wanted a twin sister, like, because then it's like, it's two of me. Why you steal my face? Why you steal my face? I don't know. That's the type of questions I would ask if I had a twin. But for the most part, you are who you are, and you are treated the way you allow people to treat you. So if you're the type of person that really doesn't like to take up for yourself, or you're afraid of what people would think, I'll tell you that if you're that person, I tell you right now, you gotta learn to get some fuck it in your system. You gotta you gotta get some I don't give a fuck. And if you walk away, you was never meant to stay. Because when they respect this, everything else will fall in place. If they cannot, and I don't know who they are, but if they can't respect their boundaries, they can be taken out of your life. And I promise you won't miss it, they'll miss you. Right? So you just remember you were never meant, I was never meant, none of us is ever meant to eat leftovers. I mean, they're fine for one day after Thanksgiving, right? But, when you get into the first of the year, fuck a leftover. I want something new. My stomach hurt. It's been overcooked. Um, it's not tasting good. Like, what are you doing right now? What are we doing eating these leftovers for the rest of it? I can't imagine because I like change, and change, you can't change if you're eating leftovers or if you're always focusing on what's behind you. It's easy to say focus on what's in front of you. It is, but focus on what is right here, right now. We are family, we are sisters. We may not all like each other. There are different reasons why people don't like each other. And I can't figure them all out, you know. But the reasons, but you don't have to be those people. Beyond that, understand that, like I said, we are all sisters. It doesn't matter what color you are and the age. At the end of the day, we sisters. We have moments where we've been lied to, we've been broken down, and we picked ourselves back up. You have to, you know. It's called coming into a new chapter, a new phase, and a new understanding that you will not be a pushover. You will say what's on your mind. You will put belt to ass. And if you are a single mother, you will continue to strive for your success and that career that's already there. Because you cannot build, mm-mm, you cannot build something and expect for it to go to the top if you are dealing with people that are going to take that from you. Meaning, if you're dealing with people who don't want what's best for you, they can take it away from you. And you'll never know what it was like to have it because you continue to deal with people that absolutely does nothing for you but drain you. I've been there. I've been drained relationship wise, and it was the worst. Okay. The motherfucker put me through there, right? Oh, a good, it was an understanding ship to me because I was under the understanding that I was the only one. And then understanding I wasn't. And then understanding that, oh, now this is a lying ship. Because this motherfucker been lying the whole motherfucking time. How is that possible? Sheep in wolf skin, right? They mask. He was a good masker, but it wasn't good enough to keep me around, right? I started seeing all the obvious, and I kind of shut my eyes to it. And then once I shut my eyes to his lies and his deceptions and his bullshit, he knew I shut my eyes to it because he thought, she loves me forever. She's never going to give it good enough and walk away. Oh, baby, we do walk away. And for men, if you're in a relationship with the woman that is draining you, walk away. Oh, my, walk away. So all you gotta do, I'm sorry, you gotta not perfect. That was actually a guest that thought about being on the show, but then they just came in and it's okay. We're still gonna go. So that's right. So a new chapter, a new phase. At the end of the day, we are all sisters, regardless of our color, our race, our age, our jobs. Because we gotta work together, we gotta live together. So there's no need to be angry when there's too much life out here. That's the problem. People are angry and you shouldn't be. Okay, so we have come up with this ways that I had come before I close out of three ways we as women can reset your day when you're feeling overwhelmed. And I had got like a few people asking me, they gave me their answers, not asking me. So we can do that. And I think that's going to be a great, great way for us to spin the block back on this conversation, right? Um, so again, what is three ways that when you're feeling overwhelmed that you can reset your day? Um, I have actually, to me, the first thing that I do, is I walk in to the faith and I walk into that belief that something's going to change, right? But that's not resetting it. That's resetting my mind. So for me, I'm one person that told me that they like to listen to rock and roll and they love rock and roll music. They get home, they blast it up along with reading a couple books of dark romance. If you're interested, I was told that one of the titles is called Stolen Death. It's like a dark book, dark romance. I've never read it, but from what I was told, excellent choice. And another book called Sun Kisses. It's a romantic book. So and sometimes when you want to had an overwhelming day, that is a good thing to do. Also, for me, I do the three R's: relax, restart, and reboot. What does that mean? You relax. You take a second breath. You count whether it's one, two, three, A, B, C, but you count. You counting back. You counting up, and then you relax. Right now, once you're doing that count, your mind starts to restart. Right. And as you're restarting these minds, you are now allowing those thoughts to come into positive thoughts, meaning defined of who you are, right? And then you reload without being guilty. Do you know what that means? Meaning you reload yourself by saying good things about yourself or looking around at what things you do have and not the things that you don't have. Because you can't reload a positive thought if you're triggering negative energy. But if you trigger your mind to relax, restart, and reload without feeling guilty, you will come off on top. I was also told that if they're another individual told they're feeling overwhelmed, they take a hot bubble bath, smoke a joint. I can agree with that. Smoke a joint, smoke a blunt, little glass of wine. Kids is out of the wind because mind you, while this is still going on, you still got a house full of kids, right? So that's your moment. That's just your moment, just to relax. Just a moment. It's all you need. Moments at a time, right? And also, as I say, walking in the faith. And then the other one I received was we got the rock and roll music, not feeling guilty. And last but not least, so I don't know, another one I say for me that pretty much there are so many things you can do to unwind. Like I said, I'm real big on you know, real life events, documentaries, real huge on that. Doesn't seem like I'm the only one, so I enjoy them. I'm not perfect, no shame in my game. So as all women across the world, we are sisters. Okay, whether we're black, white, tan, 90 years old, 25 years old, 22 years old, 18-year-old, you will find a sister within and that we can all relate to each other at some point of our life. And it's okay. It's okay to feel down sometime, but it's not okay to stay there. And as sisters, we can get up, bounce ourselves back, reboot, upgrade, and do better with do better each day. It's not going to happen overnight. It definitely doesn't. But just remember the nights that you have cried alone, you've done that enough. Okay. You've done enough of asking why is this and why is that. Now it's time to upgrade, let go, and relax and start a new chapter. It is possible because I tell you, what you lost was never meant to stay with you. Okay. You lost it for a reason. I've lost a lot of things that wasn't meant to stay. And sometimes I wanted them to stay. And each time they stayed, it just made it worse. So when you're shutting the door on your past, lock that motherfucker. Don't look back. Don't spin the mother block. Because I guarantee you spend that block on something that hurt you, the comeback's going to be worse. So um, your comeback can be different. Your comeback can be upgraded, new chapter, better choices, better decisions, and taking people out of your life that are draining you. If you like being drained, I don't suggest it. It ages to find the fuck out of you. But if you want to live a prosper, abundant, peaceful life, peaceful decisions, peaceful people, and not everybody's nice at school. And you'll glow so much, baby, so much better. So, hello, somebody. Hello, everybody. That being said, I am off the air. We did 31 minutes and running. And thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week at the same time. And again, I apologize. I was late. But you guys still tuned in. So thank you. And feel free to email. I'm sorry. I don't know how the phone works on this. So next time, just for references, until I figure out this whole live, calls are very much will be accepted. Thank you and goodbye.